Happy Tuesday. I'm Wiley, your favorite information scientist. Today we're going to talk about care. Ooh, where can I start? So, for me, I come to Georgia. I come generally twice in the summer, during the holiday or after the holiday. I come in efforts to provide support for my mom and my brother since my dad passed in May of 2023. It's often a challenge of figuring out what that looks like, what that means, because care involves different things. I could say that now, um, my mother is stronger in the sense of that she goes to PT, physical therapy. She is on a walker, but she also can walk without it and can use a quad cane. She, is totally able to do things for herself. Not that she wasn't before, but I think physical therapy really helps in terms of her mobility and strength. She also is very active in terms of she has an active network of class friends that she graduated, high school and college with, as well as her role as in the ministry spouses. But before my dad passed and after, and since the passing of my father, she's developed her own grief group for widows, which she sends cards and things like that. So I think that's very helpful, and then talks to them on the phone, which I think is very helpful. And the great things about my mom, and my brother is always the greatest. He's wonderful. I enjoy spending time with him, even though I know that means watching his TV shows. He likes musicals, and eating snacks. He's pretty much a very chill, take care of himself kind of person. After he's had his food, and he does feed himself. He can't put his own clothes on, with assistance, but he pretty much is very low key chill, a Capricorn. Um, and tends to himself outside of wanting to go out and ride in the car. That's pretty much his biggest thing that he wants to do. And then he goes to his special needs school 4 days a week. But being here, this holiday has really made me think about, well, what does it mean to be here? What type of care would I give? How can I be of support? Sometimes it's a challenge because my mother has lots of comments. She's 70 plus, so 70 plus people, black people anyway, or black women, black people, elders, they definitely have a lot of lived experience, a lot of advice, and which I get it. It also feels like too sometimes that they talk a lot of shit, and it's like that's cool in its own way, but it's like when you say that and you're getting out of the car to other people and other strangers, I'm like, maybe you should have kept that comment to yourself, because what will you do if they say something back, or if they don't like you making those comments, even though you're free to think what you think and feel the way that you feel. Also realizing that my mother's comments are very generational, in terms of she grew up 1949, segregation, integration, a teacher, very much fundamentalist in terms of some of her beliefs. So, in the roles that people should have, respectability, politics, those kind of things come up. It has been a learning experience to sit with my mom and learn who she is even more, with the stories and stuff that she's told. Also realizing how she deals with grief, not just the grief of the passing of my father, and they were married 52 years, but also she lost one of her childhood friends who passed away from cancer, and Miss Janie was very, rest in peace, was very much so a person that called my mom every night after my dad passed. So, and that's a childhood friend that my mother had known since she was age 6. So you're talking about a 60 plus year friendship. And that's a hard time for my mother to deal with too, because my mother was sharing in coffee time last week that's like the second friend that she's had that really knows her. They just known her since she was a child through, teenage adulthood, marriage, kids, that you've had this long since semblance of a relationship with. And then what is it that you're doing when all of the people that 70 plus, 80 plus, are passing away? So just those have been experiences, also challenges, because my mother is very binary in her thinking. Your gender roles, gender specific. So it's been an interesting experience. That's all I got for now. My brother's bus just showed up. Talk to y'all later.